is up? Welcome back to my channel. So today we're doing something kind of the same but a little bit different. I'm going to be taking you through a couple days in my life, but this time I'm going to be going in more detail about what I actually do day to day as a developer advocate at Google. This is probably one of the most frequent questions I get asked a lot, which is, what are you doing day to day? What is a developer advocate? Like, what is this role? So if that sounds good to you, make sure you tap that like button and tap that subscribe button, and let's get started. Before we hop in, I want to thank the sponsor for this video, Coding Dojo. If you're looking for a bootcamp, you'll want to check out Coding Dojo. Coding Dojo is a bootcamp that believes anyone can code and aims to teach complex technical topics in a simple manner. They have a unique methodology that empowers students to become self-sufficient developers by equipping them with the most in-demand and practical skills. They also have mentors and advisors who support students not only after graduation, but through every step in your career ladder. And students have great outcomes working at companies like Microsoft and Uber. Due to the pandemic, their sessions will occur online. If you are interested in Coding Dojo, please make sure to check out the link in the description box down below. So just to give more context and just go through like the business reason why this role even exists. So currently, right now, there's something going on called the Cloud Wars. I know, very dramatic name for something that's not that dramatic, but is actually dramatic. So the cloud business is a multi-billion-dollar business and has room to grow to $1 trillion. So right now, there's a lot of room for growth, and there are three major players in this Cloud Wars, which is Amazon, Microsoft, and Google. All of these have their own cloud services and cloud products that they're trying to drive adoption to. Right now, Amazon actually has the biggest market share because they started first, but Microsoft and Google are both competing heavily to get additional customers. One of Google's strategies right now for really getting more customers in cloud is to be more customer focused and more developer focused. So they're not only investing a lot of money into making their cloud product better, but they're also investing a lot of money into making their customers happy, being more developer friendly. This is where DevRel comes in, because DevRel is all about driving adoption, driving awareness, and driving understanding about Google Cloud. The official definition of DevRel is that they're supposed to advocate for developers and help developers use these different products more productively. The unofficial definition is that DevRel is all about increasing adoption, increasing awareness, and increasing understanding of whatever tools they're advocating for, so that developers use them. There are so many different types of DevRel people. I didn't even know this before I joined. There are DevRels that are more focused on the customer. So they're all about going to client and customer meetings, giving presentations to customers to drive adoption of a specific Google Cloud tool. They can also help sales team close deals. There's some DevRel, which is kind of like the more traditional role of DevRel, which they used to call them like professional conference goers. So they would just kind of be at all the conferences talking about Google Cloud, teaching Google Cloud, and basically driving awareness about Google Cloud. The DevRel that I'm doing right now is all about creating content that's educational on YouTube and on cloud. And as you can imagine, this is very different from what I was doing at my last job, where I was a software engineer for almost 3 years. So in this video, I'll kind of be doing a deep dive into what I actually do day to day, my salary, why I chose this role over doing a SWE role, which is what I did for a couple years. And I actually had a SWE offer that I was comparing to this offer. So you're gonna get all the tea about DevRel in this video, and I hope you enjoy. But for right now, let me finish my breakfast and let's hop into it. So now I've basically done a bunch of my work and I'm gonna go meet a friend in the city. But before I go, I just wanted to get into the weeds about what my deliverables are. If you're not familiar with deliverables, it's kind of like, what are they paying you to do? At my old job, they were paying me to build these tools using Python. But in this job now, they're paying me to create these artifacts. And the artifacts I'm tasked with creating are things like blog posts, podcasts, and videos, teaching people about Google Cloud. So if you're someone who likes to teach and you don't mind teaching online, this is a good role for you if you're really into teaching, you're really into public speaking, because that's the majority of what we do here. Another question I get asked is like, how much code do I write? And it's gonna be something where it's like you kind of determine how much code you write. In my other job, you couldn't get away with writing no code. Here you can, and people kind of pick and choose how much code they want to write and how involved they want to be in programming. For this job, any code you write isn't meant to be pushed out into production and isn't meant to be used like in the actual product. The code that you write for this role is to teach other people about Google Cloud technologies. But some developer advocates take it even further, and you'll see them building like entire open source systems to help with Miss Rona exposure notifications, which is something that two DevRel people built just a couple months ago to help with efforts to stop the spread of Miss Rona. Okay, so I'm gonna go see my friend. I'll catch you guys soon. So happy Thursday. Today I just want to talk about how does being a SWE compare with doing DevRel. It's actually really interesting because DevRel people used to be software engineers and decided to move to DevRel. But then you also have DevRel people who come from sales backgrounds, marketing backgrounds, technical writing backgrounds. It's kind of like a combination of a lot of things. But how does the work of being a software engineer compare with the work of doing DevRel? So I think the first thing I need to say is that it's totally different, but there are some similarities. So when I was doing SWE work, I was kind of following the software development cycle. I would get a problem and then I would go through the entire cycle of writing the design doc, getting feedback on the design doc, implementing, testing, and then maintaining that piece of software over a long period of time. But for DevRel, it's a different process. So the way you're getting projects, at least on my DevRel team, is two ways. One is that you just come up with your own project and then you'll build all the content, the code labs, the demos, the articles, the YouTube videos, and then the podcasts potentially on that subject to teach it. Another way we get projects is through stakeholders on the product team. So you have different stakeholders like the product manager, the product marketing manager, even maybe like the team leads. That might be like, we have a new product and we want people to find out about it and know how to use it. So can you talk about it? Can you build an entire series about teaching this new product? Another thing you'll find is that maybe they might have talked to customers and they're like, this is a common problem customers have, and no one knows you can use these combination of Google Cloud tools to solve this solution easily. So can you talk about this? So yeah, that's basically the two ways you're getting projects. And once you get those projects, then it's up to you to kind of develop content around teaching this product to other people. And I guess the important thing to know is that for DevRel, you're supposed to be really prioritizing the developers first. But with your stakeholders, they might have different motives and they might have different ways of communicating. Like the product marketing manager has a more marketing way of communicating. So they might say things that developers will kind of say is BS. So you always have to keep the developer audience in mind when you're building out these content series and you're planning to teach about a specific topic. You also want to make sure that the stakeholders are happy, the developer audience who's going to get the content is happy, and you feel like you did a good job like teaching that content. So yeah, that's kind of like the difference between DevRel and SWE. SWE, you're working directly with the product, you're building products, you're maintaining products, or testing the product out. DevRel, you're creating content around a specific product. Either you're showcasing that product, you're teaching the product to other people and raising awareness about that product. So that's kind of the major difference. And the whole entire theme of DevRel is it's developers helping developers. So you're always prioritizing that developer audience. I hope this makes sense, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Hey everyone, everyone, happy Friday. Sorry if I'm low energy today. I don't know what is happening, but my coffee isn't giving what it's supposed to give, and I don't understand why. It is Friday, happy Friday, and today, for me, usually my Fridays are no meetings days. I don't know what it is, I don't know if it's a team culture, but no one books meetings on Friday, which I love. So that means that I usually use my Fridays to basically learn. I call them my learning days. I just will learn about product using like internal documentation, external documentation, maybe reaching out to people who are actually building the product to find out more information about whatever product I'm gonna be making a video on or I'm gonna be teaching. A huge part of DevRel is like learning, because products are constantly changing. New products are getting added. Depending on what type of DevRel you do, you are taking the time to sort of learn as much as possible about each product. So that's a good thing about DevRel. So if you like to learn, you like to teach, this is a good position for you. But guys, I'm starving. I need to get some lunch, and that's what I'm gonna do. And then we'll talk about the juicy stuff like salary, the pros and the cons of this role, why I chose it over a SWE role. And yeah, I hope you guys stick around for that. So now let's talk about the tea. I hope this vlog was helpful to just seeing at least a little bit what developer advocates do. I think like the best way to summarize it was what I said probably in the first day, which is developer advocates are responsible for driving adoption, driving awareness, and driving understanding of whatever tools that they're working on. They're doing a lot of teaching. Sometimes they're attending conferences, writing blog posts, basically just teaching about the different tools that they're representing, and they're always keeping like the developers first in mind. So when they're creating their content or when they're speaking with developers, they're thinking about developer pain points, what developers hate about the product, and they're bringing that information back to the product team and just spreading knowledge and just teaching about different tools. But I hope you also understood too in the beginning of the video that there are definitely different developer advocates. Some developer advocates work directly with customers. Some developer advocates are subject matter experts. And then the developer advocacy that I do on my team is more about creating online content to teach about Google Cloud tools. Cool. So now let's talk about the first hot topic, salary. So right now as a developer advocate, I'm making more than I did as a developer, but I think that's because of the company I'm in right now. So this company is Google and they just pay very well. So my salary is above 210, which is what I was making before. So why did I choose DevRel over SWE? Honestly, it wasn't like a very intense, thoughtful decision. I just really connected with the team more at Google, and I just love the fact that they kept talking about flexibility. You get to learn, you get to control your schedule. And all those things really made me want to do this role because I love flexibility, I do. I love the idea that some DevRel people got to travel on Google's dime. That was another cool thing. I love the fact that I could keep learning about tech, and I just thought it was a cool opportunity to try something new. The pay was good, the company was good, the people were good. So even though I didn't necessarily go into the process wanting to do DevRel work, it made sense for me at the time. So now 1 year later, almost 1 year later, how do I feel about it? It's complicated, and I'll talk about it in a different video about how I feel about it, but I've liked some parts of it and I've not liked other parts of it. I definitely thought I'd be programming a lot more, but I'm not really doing a lot of programming, so then I feel a little bit of fear that my skills are gonna whittle away. Let's say I want to leave DevRel, I won't be able to leave DevRel because I won't have the skills, but that's not true because there are a bunch of DevRel people who program and who keep their skills fresh, and a lot of their advocacy and the stuff they do is centered around engineering and programming. So I think it's mostly just me having to choose the right projects. I think that's honestly it. I'm gonna eat lunch and then maybe I'll take you guys along with me on the weekends to see how my weekends usually are, but I'm so hungry, I need to eat food. So I'm gonna eat my food right now and then I'll catch you guys soon.
Enzo, sit. Good boy. Lie down. Good boy. Enzo, can you sit? Sit. Good, sit. Enzo, leżeć. Good boy. Give me your paw. Good paw, good boy. Good.